and behold, hell followed with him.
Hello out there, YouTube land and also social media lands. Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out about a week or so ago, and is the latest and supposedly last Sony Marvel production. So we're going to get right into that. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and any other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy me here on YouTube, definitely check out my little social media platforms such as X, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon. Pretty much post on those regularly, so definitely check them out. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out this past week or so, and is the latest and supposedly last Sony Marvel collaboration film, supposedly, which happens to be called Kraven the Hunter. Yeah! Kraven the Hunter. Yeah! Kraven the Hunter. Yeah! So Kraven the Hunter is the most recent from Sony Marvel Productions of the Sony Marvel universe, along with films such as Morbius, Madam Web, etc., that type of stuff. And this film just was really fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I know a lot of people are crapping on it. They're not saying it's great, but overall, I think it got across the point, and it just made it so much fun. It had lots of great action, had great dialogue, great acting by everyone, and just it gave me exactly what I wanted from a great action, hard R-rated film. I was really impressed with what this film brought. It just had a lot of great fun. It had great dynamics. The CGI I thought was done really well. The locations looked really amazing. And just overall, I thought that it was just a really well-created film. Now, this film happens to be directed by none other a gentleman that has directed quite a few things over the years. Is a Academy Award, winning and, nominated type of dude that just, I think, is a really great director, and I thought he did a great job with this film. And that happens to be Mr. J.C. Candor! Oh yeah, J.C. Candor! Woo! J.C. Candor, yeah! So J.C., who I think is like I said, a fantastic director. I pretty much enjoyed anything he's put out. I think he has a really great flair, really great ideas, just a really great overall aspect of how he makes his movies. And I think he did that with Kraven the Hunter. He gave us something that was very different than what he's done, prior to this. And I think that he had a great idea of what to bring for Kraven. Now, I know this film had a lot of reshoots and stuff like that, and, it had a lot of, delays and stuff like that, but I think with what all those delays, encountered, I think he did a great job of piecing together a well-put-out film. And the action that he brought to the film, I thought was just really on the chain, and really did a great job bringing that and giving us really well choreographed fight scenes. He gives some really great story, and I also felt that he didn't give us too much filler type of things in the film too, which I really enjoyed. I thought that it started off, got to the middle, got to the end, and gave us a full-length story that was really enjoyable. And I think JC had a really great eye for giving us kind of a little bit of a mafia feel, mob mentality type of deal, kind of like Sopranos, Goodfellas, Godfather type of deal, along with this, because, Russell Crowe's character, Kraven's dad, is very much, like a gangster type of character. And I think that JC did a great job of bringing kind of that feeling to the film. And in the writing, too, as well, I think that it really was done well, giving us kind of a almost, R-rated, Marvel characterization that definitely was on the adult level and not just, pointed towards kids. And I thought JC did a great job of giving us a well-rounded for all types of people to watch and enjoy. And I think it played out really well. I thought J.C. Chandor did a great job of bringing this to life, giving us a really solid film that just was super enjoyable. If you haven't seen anything J.C. Candor has directed, definitely a great film to check out of his that I really enjoy. It's a great film that came out a few years ago, about 10 years ago now, that is a Academy Award nominated film, and just overall a really great drama. And that, of course, the film called A Most Violent Year. Yeah, a most violent year. Yeah. I mean, JC did a great job with this film. Oscar Isaac, Jessica Chastain, both of them played this movie to the T. But as you saw with this film, it had a very much gangster feeling vibe, which I thought he brought from that into Kraven the Hunter. And I thought that in a most violent year, it really showed the type of, directing chops he had, and that he had a really great eye on action along with great drama, great mystery, great just overall making a film very enticing, very enjoyable, and very entertaining. And that's what he brought to A Most Violent Year, which made it, I think, such a great film. You didn't find it boring at all, and you found it intriguing the whole entire time. And I think JC has a really great eye of giving us what we're looking for in entertainment value, and that's what he brought to A Most Violent Year. If you haven't seen A Most Violent Year for JC's directing, definitely check it out. He did such a fantastic job, and I think he did the same thing with Kraven the Hunter. He gave us exactly what us, people that aren't very or know the comics very well, or those that might know the comic very well, and felt that he brought the essence of Kraven the Hunter to the forefront and give us a really entertaining film. If you haven't seen anything JC Chandor has directed, definitely go check out Kraven the Hunter in theaters now. Worth the watch. So this movie has a really great cast. I absolutely enjoyed them all in the film. I thought they all did a great job. They all worked really well, and I thought they all brought the characters to life very well. And I thought also that they just really got a really great cast that all of them pulled together the characters and gave us a really great ensemble as well. Now, to start us off is none other than Kraven the Hunter himself, Mr. Aaron Taylor Johnson. Oh yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Woo, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah, absolutely love Aaron Taylor Johnson. Since I've seen him in the first film I ever saw him in, absolutely thought he was just a fantastic actor, and I knew he was gonna, bring great life to his characters and just be an awesome actor. And he has proven that over time and time again, and he's just always so awesome. And I love everything he brings to his characterizations because he always puts 100% into them, and you really feel like that's his character. From his character in Godzilla, 2014, to his character in Nocturnal Animals, to pretty much anything he's done over the last 20 years, he's just been so freaking awesome at, and it's just really brought to life his characters. And I think he did that with Kraven the Hunter and playing Kraven. He really brought a great essence to the character because you felt for him, but at the same time you understood what he was doing. And also at the same time, he really brought a great kind of action-packed, awesome, I'm a badass, type of dude, and I won't be stopped. I will keep on going, and I will keep on kicking butt and do what I need to do. And I really enjoyed what he brought to Kraven, and I felt he really brought him to life from the comics. And him being a younger guy, too, as well, because we all know Kraven the Hunter in the comics, I feel, is a little bit more of an older gentleman. I think he's more like 40-ish, I feel, from what I've seen in, his comics, his looks, and stuff like that. I felt he's more mature, but at the same time, I think Aaron did a great job of bringing that to life, and even though he's, only in his 30s, he still brought a really great, refreshing take on the character that was just really well executed and well directed, of course, from JC. And I think Aaron just did a great job of bringing that character to life and give us a really solid performance. Now, if you haven't seen anything else with Aaron Taylor Johnson, definitely a great movie to check out that he was really fantastic in. It's probably one of my all-time favorites of his. It's a great film that came out in 2010 called Kick-Ass. Yeah! Kick-Ass! Yeah! I think this is his, opus, canomesis, everything you think of, his opulence of his acting career was in this film. And he was just so freaking awesome. And I absolutely love what he brought to the character in that film. I loved how he was kind of like this nerdy kid that was just this normal dude that was trying to be a superhero without any superpowers and stuff like that. And he just really brought that character and was just so freaking awesome at it. And I just loved everything that he brought to the character and just what he did with it and how he reacted with all the other different characters throughout the film. From Evan Peters to Chloe Grace Moretz to the gentleman that played his dad to having to fight Mark Strong and all that kind of stuff. And he just was so really awesome as the character. And he really brought Kick-Ass to life from the chapters in the comics and just was really fantastic at it. And I can't see him not playing Kick-Ass again because he just was so good at it. If you haven't seen Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think definitely check out his performance in Kick-Ass. He was super fantastic and did a phenomenal job. But overall, I think he did a phenomenal job with Kraven the Hunter 2. I absolutely loved him in the film. Thought he was kick-ass and awesome in it as well. And I just think it's a really great new addition to his great filmography. And this, his great filmography from Bullet Train as well. He just is such a great talent, and he's always a joy to watch. If you haven't seen Aaron Taylor Johnson recently, go check him out in Kraven the Hunter. He was phenomenal. So that brings me to the next actor I'd like to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than the gentleman that played Rhino himself in the film, Mr. Alessandro Nivola. Oh yeah, Alessandro Nivola. Woo, Alessandro, yeah. So Alessandro, who I think is a fantastic actor, is such a great character actor, and he always plays really great characters that you hate, you despise, or you really enjoy him, or you really feel for him, and he just is really good at playing these great characters of all types of different calibers. And I really enjoyed him in this film as Rhino. I thought it was a really interesting take on the Rhino character, especially, it's very different than his character in the comics, where he, basically he's just kind of like Juggernaut, pretty much essentially, but, big and a Rhino version or whatever. And I think that, this whole take on him and it being like this kind of experiment he made on himself, basically, because he wanted to be different and not be considered so, nerdy and stuff like that, was a really different and interesting take on the character. And I liked what Alessandro brought to that. I liked that he played kind of like this nerdy, goofy type of dude that definitely was like next level, like nerd. And I absolutely loved that. And his like funny ass laughs throughout the film and stuff like that were on point and just really were fun and a great different characterization of who the Rhino is. Now, I'm not super familiar with the character in the comics, but I thought that this was a really great interpretation of that, which I know, Rhino wasn't like that at all in the comics, but I thought it was a really interesting take to bring to live action form that I thought really played out well for the film and just gave us a little bit of a comedy element to the film. And Alessandro, I just think, knows how to play these characters. He's so good at playing them. He's just a really good character actor, and I just loved what he brought to it and gave us. And he gave us a really great villain that was super enjoyable and fun to watch. And even the look of the character, I know a lot of people, said, oh, this is horrible looking or not even close. I thought it was pretty decent for a take, from the Sony Marvel Universe that was, almost comparable to what Rhino looked like in the comics. I thought it was a little more better than, what I've seen in other forms of different characters throughout the Sony films. And I just thought he looked really cool. I thought he looked awesome. I liked how he was almost like rock-like, versus, it being a suit that he's wearing. He's just a really big guy, kind of like Juggernaut. And I thought that was an interesting take, that he was almost like actual Rhino form. And I actually agree that I thought it was a decent, definitely, more of the real world type of look versus what is in the comics. But still, I think it was done really well, and I really enjoyed how it looked, played out, and how action-packed his performances were throughout the film. And I just thought Alessandro did a great job of bringing that to life and give us a really fun version of Rhino that I think was very entertaining and fun. Now, if you haven't seen Alessandro Nivola in anything, definitely a great film to check him out, and is one of my favorite roles of his. That is also probably the first role I ever saw him in. It was a great film that came out in 2001 called Jurassic Park 3. Yeah! Jurassic Park 3, yeah! Absolutely love Jurassic Park 3. I think it's my all-time favorite Jurassic Park film. I just like the whole concept behind it. And I absolutely love Alessandro in that film. I think he plays a really great character opposite of Sam Neill. And I absolutely loved that character. I thought he was such a fun character. He was interesting. He was fun. He was very different. And at the same time, you felt for him. But at the same time, you're such an idiot type of character. And just Alessandro did a great job of bringing that to life and give us a really well-rounded performance. If you haven't seen Alessandro, you're not novella and anything, definitely check out his performance in Jurassic Park 3. He did a really great job. But overall, I really enjoyed him in Kraven the Hunter, and I thought he was a really great rhino. And I just really enjoyed him and thought he was very entertaining, and he really added to the film. If you haven't seen him recently, go check him out in Kraven the Hunter now. He's definitely worth checking out. So that brings me to the last actor I'd like to talk about that was this film. And that is none other than the gentleman that played Kraven the Hunter's dad, known as Mr. Russell Crowe! Russell Crowe! Woo! Russell Crowe! Yeah! What hasn't Russell Crowe been in that he wasn't just absolutely fantastic? This man is a master actor who's always so awesome to watch. From his performance, of course, in Gladiator, to his performance in The Pope's Exorcist, to his character in, Master Commander, to his characterization in Nice Guys. He is just always fantastic to watch. He can play all types of genres, and he just is always fun to watch. And I think that Russell Crowe is one of those actors that just always brings great life to his characters and is always just on point on bringing to life and giving you a really good example of what somebody like him would be like in real life. And I just think overall, he just has such a great way of presenting his characters and bringing them to life and giving us really fantastic performances that you are always enjoying and always entertained by. And Russell Crowe is just such an awesome guy. I think he always does a really great job. And I just always enjoy anything he does, even in his real life, and his interviews and stuff like that. He's always just freaking hilarious to me. And is just always awesome and just brings great characterization and love and life to his characters. That's just always fun to watch. Now, when it comes to his characterization of, Kraven's father, I thought he did a great job. He played kind of that mob boss type of mentality very well. He had a great accent, I thought, doing the kind of like accent that he was trying to portray, that Russian type of accent. And, I thought that he did a good job of, being, that type of mentality of a father and wanting your son to be a part of your business type of deal. And just like what one of those types of, like Godfather type of characters would, how they would be like. And I thought Russell did a great job of bringing that to life, giving us a really great interpretation for this film, and just gave us a really rich character to really feel and despise and feel for Kraven for having this as his father. And I just really enjoyed everything Russell brought to the character, and it just was so well done. Now, if you haven't seen Russell Crowe or anything, definitely a great film to check him out in, which I think is one of his best in the last, 4 years. And just was a really well-created character that you could come across, really, in today's society. And that, of course, a film called Unhinged. Yeah! Unhinged. Yeah! He is so phenomenal in this film. He's so badass, so awesome, so well constructed, well executed, acted in this film, and just it felt so like a real person, what they would do in real life. And it just, was perfect for that time, especially because this came out during the pandemic. And, it definitely felt like, we could really have somebody that would be like this, that this would be somebody you could confront on your travels in traffic or at a store or, anywhere you're going in, public. And just Russell did a great job of giving us this really great bad guy that you were kind of rooting for throughout the film. You're kind of enjoying his, kind of demonic possession that he's bringing to the film. And just like how he really is like portraying somebody, how they really would be that unhinged in real life. And he executed so beautifully and so well. And it just was such a really amazing performance that I wish he got more recognition for and more credit for, because he just was so freaking good. If you haven't seen Unhinged, highly recommend check it out for Russell Crowe's performance. He was absolutely fantastic and phenomenal in that film. But overall, he was a really great addition to Kraven the Hunter. I really enjoyed him in film. I thought he was perfect as Kraven the Hunter's father and really executed the performance very well. If you haven't seen Russell Crowe recently in anything, go check him out in Kraven the Hunter now in theaters. He was phenomenal. So what is Kraven the Hunter about? Basically, the premise of the film is it gives you an origin story of how Kraven becomes Kraven the Hunter and kind of his legacy and kind of his, basically building his life from being a normal kid to possessing the powers of being Kraven the Hunter, up to him basically having to take down his father and basically getting revenge on his father and becoming Kraven the Hunter we all know from the comics. And basically it's his origin story, his origin of his powers and all that kind of good stuff, along with, you know, the basically the kind of origins of Chameleon, the origins of Rhino, and just kind of overall the origin of Hunter becoming Kraven the Hunter. Really well done film. I thought it was really well written, really well directed, executed for being delayed so many times. And overall, I thought it was just a really great film and a great addition to the Sony Marvel Universe. And I just thought it was a really fun film. And I absolutely enjoyed it and loved it. And I loved the action. I loved the rated R-ness of it, and I just thought it was a really well done film. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend check it out. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up on this bad boy. It was absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to add to the collection. It just was such a phenomenal film. If you have not seen it, highly recommend you go check it out in theaters now. Really worth a watch. Great action, great story, great performances by all, and just overall a really fun film. Like I said, if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out in theaters now. Worth the watch. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. If this is your first time here, or you have been before, don't forget to check out the older new videos if you haven't seen mine yet. As always, people, I want to give a huge shout out to my subscribers, my followers, everyone that, you know, is a part of this channel and watches and stuff like that. Thank you so much for being a part of it and checking me out. You guys are rocking it. But if you want to show even more support, please check out my awesome Patreon page, where once you become a member, you get access to all kinds of great extra accoutrement you don't get here on the YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. As always, people, catch you in the next one.